タイニーメタル。タイニーメタル。
イニーメタル。 Advanced weapons platforms that served as the backbone of the warring factions during the World War. Designated Mega. Most of them were thankfully destroyed in battle, with those remaining deemed too dangerous to use. They were mothballed and soon relegated to the pages of history. Many today view them as a near-mythical relic of a past age. Unfortunately, recent events have proven the Mega series to be all too real. Orzio's reckless excavation of the Mega Metal seems to have caused a chain reaction of similar events across the globe. Did our forebears really believe them too dangerous to exist? Or were they just stockpiled away, preparing for the next conflict? There's no way to know, and really, it's unimportant either way. We're now engaged in a struggle with those who would use these superweapons for their own destructive ends. We must unlock the mysteries of the Mega series before it's too late, or we risk them falling into the hands of those who would use them for ill. Wolfram, what kind of person is your brother?
Oh, that's right. I haven't told you the whole story yet, have I? Ragnar was the former commander of the White Fangs. On the battlefield, he was a peerless soldier and brilliant tactician. But behind the controls of a fighter was where his skills were at their peak. In the sky, there was no one, friend or foe, that was his equal. Everyone in the company looked up to him just as much as I did.
But he disappeared during the Zeltzer War, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot of people said he was dead, but I never believed it. Ragnar was too good a pilot to have been shot down so easily, so I started searching, desperately clinging to any rumor or whisper that might lead me to him. And just when I'd started to give up hope, turns out he's alive. I wish I'd had the chance to introduce you properly. As for what he's doing in the Dinaldan Kingdom, what he's after, why stay hidden all this time, I have no idea. That's why I'm following him, to get the answers I need right from the source.
I guess that means we need to find him, huh?
Yes, we do.
Nora, I wouldn't wish this frigid wasteland on my worst enemy. How have you been living out here all this time? I'm sure there were much warmer places you could have hidden the Mega Mecha.
My grandfather chose this place specifically. This is the only place where we can be sure the Mega Mecha won't be found, is what he said. He believed the magnetic interference and extreme weather would hide it from the Dinaldan army.
A smart move. What sort of man was your grandfather?
Grandpa was a brilliant technician in the former kingdom of Dinalda. He began researching ancient technology, hoping to make a breakthrough that could be used to advance peace. But the kingdom was dead set on using his discoveries to develop new weapons for war, So he stole away with all his research, a few colleagues and their families, and they hid away out here in the wastelands, along with the near-complete Mega Mecha.
The Metacleon Corporation. I'd heard rumors, of course, but to think that you guys had set up shop in such a remote location.
We try to keep to ourselves. To the outside world, we're just an elusive collective of mechanics and engineers that specialize in remote repair and maintenance. Of course, whatever resources we acquire from that go towards building defensive weapons and security units, as well as maintaining the Mega Mecha.
Why all the secrecy, though?
My grandfather was extremely cautious. Everything we've done was designed to help against the dangers he foresaw. His exact words were, "We must prepare for the coming disaster."
Was it the resurrection of Dinolda he was worried about?
I'm not sure, but they definitely were searching for the Mega Mecha. I'm sure if they had found it, they'd be using it to hurt people right now. Metacleon's purpose is to protect the world from things like that.
Seems we have similar goals. We have a score to settle with the Denoldans as well.
Nora, you've got access to such a powerful tool in the Mega Mecha. Why aren't you using it to fight?
It's not that simple. The Mega Mecha chooses the pilot.
Chooses the pilot? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I can power it up, but it won't let me control it.
Huh. It has to have moved before, though, right? Your grandfather managed to pilot it here all the way from Denolda. That's not a short trip.
Yes, he was the only one that was able to get it to move. But that was years ago. Once we got here, he spent all his time in the lab. I don't even know if the Mega Mecha can move anymore.
Your grandfather was able to do it, but no one else. How interesting.
When I was a kid, I tried to use it once. It didn't go so well.
What happened?
I couldn't even get the onboard computer to boot up.
What?
When I touched the controls, it was like I was hit by a bolt of lightning. I must have blacked out because the next thing I knew, I was looking up at my grandfather as he cradled me in his arms. I'd been found lying unconscious right next to the Mega Mecha. When I told the other corporation members about it, no one believed me. They said I must have imagined it. My grandpa was pretty mad about it too. He told me to never go near it again. I've stayed away from the Mega Mecha ever since. Until now, that is. The APT, or Auto Print Template, is a data structure that compiles the parts and construction methods of advanced weaponry in an easy-to-use format.
Oh yeah, back during our training they taught us about APTs. They're basically the blueprints for machines that can mass-produce powerful weapons, right?
You know your stuff, Nathan. Normally, if you want to produce a weapon, you need scientists, engineers, and years of R&D. But with an APT, there's no development needed. Just some basic knowledge and the required production facilities.
If the Denoldan army were to get their hands on this, they could use it to mass-produce Mega Mechas.
That's an understatement. In no time, they would have hundreds, maybe thousands of them. The world would be overrun. No one would stand a chance.
Not on my watch. We'll have to do everything we can to stop that from happening. How can the Denolden army manage to command the thousands of AI soldiers at their disposal? It seems impossible.
Machine soldiers were products. Relics, really, of the last World War. A soldier's battlefield experiences, sights, smells, sounds, all get uploaded to a supercomputer. When the soldier dies, it's all just downloaded into the brain of a new cyborg body. The system learns from past experiences, with near-zero lost knowledge between units. Functionally, it has limitless capacity for improvement in tactics and combat capability. It's a cheap way to handle the loss of skilled soldiers. But it's almost like cheating, don't you think?
And how do you know all this?
Such a silly question. You would fight an enemy without knowing them first? Information is essential to victory. As you've seen, the Denolden army has started to awaken from its slumber, and their unit's capabilities are steadily improving. The only logical conclusion is that there must have been a backup AI mainframe somewhere in Denolda that was not destroyed at the end of the World War.
So, the Denolden army as a fighting force is functionally immortal unless we can destroy whatever base currently houses the AI mainframe?
Correct. Plus, if they were able to secure the Mega Metal APT, then they would be able to produce them en masse and very precisely control them through the AI network. Our problems would quickly become insurmountable.
That would be bad. We have to put a stop to them. So, based on what you've told me, this Victoria must be an excellent commander.
Indeed. She started out as an officer in the Imperial Army of Obsidior.
The Empire of Obsidior?
Yes, that's where she's originally from.
Why would an Imperial officer join the White Fangs?
She must have caught wind of our disgust with the vast amount of corruption infesting the Imperial Army. You know it's gotten bad when the mercenaries start talking about it openly. I was pretty green at the time, but I remember she was quite interesting when she first joined. Her abilities were beyond reproach, but the soldiers had little interest in welcoming her, and even less in getting to know her. Ragnar, though, he recognized her competence immediately, and didn't waste any time in naming her as his second-in-command. I learned a lot from her, too. She was a brilliant leader, and on the battlefield she was a cunning tactician and powerful warrior. But she left the White Fangs after I took command, after my brother disappeared. It was like, for her, the White Fangs had disappeared right along with Ragnar. When she left, it made me feel like I wasn't good enough to walk in his footsteps, to lead like he had.
I'm not sure that's what she meant at all.
Huh?
You were your brother's chosen successor. He knew he could trust you with his vision. Victoria must have understood the belief he had in you as well. She probably knew she could trust the White Fangs to you, that you would lead them well. I'm sure she felt as though there was nothing left she could teach you. At least that's how it seems to me, knowing how you've turned out as a leader.
I hope you're right. Thank you, Nathan.
Pretty coincidental, though, Victoria showing up all of a sudden.
Yes, it seems my brother casts a long shadow that brings surprises with it. There has to be some connection.
This is the intel we've gathered on the uninhabited island that houses our next objective. To the untrained eye, it's just an unremarkable dot of land in the middle of an unremarkable sea, but looks can be deceiving. In reality, this little piece of rock houses the last great superweapon developed by the Kingdom of Dinolda during the World War, an advanced AI command mainframe. It's capable of controlling uncountable number of soldiers and weapons with a precision unthinkable to any human commander. The mainframe is built into the very foundation of the island, so it wouldn't be wrong to say it's just one big floating computer. At the end of the war, it was erased from all the maps, and thought to be just as dead and buried as those that created it. For the moment, the AI control systems are operating at minimal capacity. The ancient reactor powering the mainframe was critically damaged near the end of the war, and it lost much of its computing capacity. The Dinoldan army has been essentially dormant, waiting for a clue that might lead to technology that would work to repair or replace that reactor. With the sudden reappearance of the Mega Series weapons coinciding with the resurgence of the Dinoldan army, it's a safe bet that the control AI sees the mega weapon power source as a suitable reactor replacement. Ragnar and I fought for years behind the scenes, trying to find a way to stop this problem at its source. It's why we left the White Fangs in the first place. In the end, the best we could do was barely hold Dinolda back as their forces grew by the day. And now, they have the APT, and we don't have much time to halt their plans. I won't apologize for my past actions, but I am asking for your help now. Hopefully, Lady Luck is on our side, because we'll be up against the fate of the world on this one.
For as long as I can remember, I've had the ability to simply touch a weapon and immediately know its innermost workings. From there, remote control was a simple step to take, and I have mastered that as well. There are whispered stories told by soldiers and mercenaries alike of people who were subjected to genetic engineering and experimental surgeries during the World War. Secret hosts to nanomachines that allowed control over the mega-weapons whose memories still haunt the world. It's possible my abilities are related. Of course, there are limits to my control, the number of weapons or the distance at which I can exert my will. But when in contact with a single one, my power is undeniable. If the Dinoldans succeed in awakening the AI command mainframe, I may be the only one who can stop it. But even now, the sheer number of soldiers and machines spread through their network makes that unlikely, even if I had full access to the central control AI. It would quickly reassert control and have me destroyed as a potential threat. We will have to weaken the network first, reduce the number of connections it is able to maintain, and then I can carry out my plan. Even with Victoria's help, the odds of success are, at best, less than half. Wolfram's unexpected intervention may increase the odds slightly, but I cannot in good conscience allow her or anyone else to be caught up in this any longer. This responsibility is mine to bear. Wolfram, sister, please forgive me.
Hey, you! Have you really forgotten the battles we've fought? Well, I'll just have to give you a history lesson. 50 years since the World War plagued the planet. Artemisia, a small well-off country. While returning from a diplomatic visit, the king's plane and an escort were shot down. The attack was blamed on the neighboring country Zipeng, and tensions between the two countries quickly escalated. War followed soon after. Nathan Grease, lieutenant in the Artemisian army, was deployed to Zibang to search for the hero, Lindbergh, who had also been lost in the surprise attack. On the way, Nathan met Wolfram, commander of the White Fang's mercenary group.
What are you doing here?
She can be a little cold sometimes. Working together, they landed in Zipang, where they were greeted by Orzio, the mysterious weapons merchant known for his stylish attire and creepy mask.
A masked weapons merchant?
Betrayal! Lindbergh turned traitor! Nathan was devastated.
Colonel, how could this be?
Nathan fought through his feelings, and it turns out, in the end, Lindbergh was deceived as well.
Colonel!
The Tatara clan has planned to take control of Zepang, using the invasion as cover. But with his plan going so smoothly, Tatara got cocky.
Tatara, you were a fool to think you could hide from me.
Lord General Tsukumo had seen through his plans. Smart man. Turns out Orzio had orchestrated the whole thing.
Orzio! We have to catch him!
As if that mask of his wasn't a huge clue, how did everyone miss that? Orzio's real plan was to use the lost tech artifact known as Mega Metal to conquer the world. Orzio goaded Wolfram into losing her composure by insulting her much-loved older brother. She lost focus and was shot.
Nathan.
Nathan has a new reason to fight. Can we win? Find out by playing Tiny Metal. What are you still doing here? Go play it. That was the final take, right? Can I go? Hey, cut the mics already. Hey, long time no see. You haven't been slacking off, have you? Do you remember the story so far? Well, I'll just have to give you a refresher. Nathan's search for lost tech brought him to the Forbidden Alps. Wolfram, following rumors of her brother, ends up nearby. But in the middle of a battle, Wolfram fell into a deep crevice.
Ah! Oh no!
She survived the fall and found a surprise at the bottom. A lost tech weapon, the Mega Mecha.
You've seen it. I can't let you leave here alive.
It seems the brilliant mechanic Nora is a little confused. The Denolden army manages to steal the Mega Mecha in the confusion, so Wolfram strikes a deal with Nora.
I'm sure we can negotiate.
As they work to recover the Mega Mecha, Wolfram's brother Ragnar appeared out of the blue. Is he friend or foe? Ever-reliable Nathan joins them as well, but he seems troubled.
It's been a while, Wolfram.
Are you sure you're not just following her? Wolfram and Ragnar are finally reunited, but Ragnar is cold and leaves immediately. Wolfram is devastated. Nora found her Mega Mecha, but she can't get it to move. When the Denoldens counterattack, she's unable to help at all.
I'm so sorry. Everyone.
Wolfram rashly pursues her brother right into a Denolden trap. She was quickly in deep trouble as the enemies close in. Nora's abilities awaken.
I won't let you die.
Nora clears a path to Wolfram, and they are reunited. But, while covering Nora from enemy fire, Wolfram is struck, and once again falls into the abyss. Fortunately, a talented and wise ally was there to save her. A resourceful leader, brilliant tactician, and powerful warrior. Former White Fang's second-in-command, Victoria. I had been roaming the world, holding back the Denolden threat, and looking for any information on how to defeat them. Knowledge and determination combined with strength and beauty. Fascinating. Oh, sorry, I got a little off track there. Victoria eventually guides Wolfram back to Nathan, and together they form an alliance.
All right, time to work together.
Everyone pulls together, and they capture the APT. Though after the battle, Victoria communicates with someone secretly. Of course, I allowed Wolfram to see me. Ragnar had been working with Victoria behind the scenes, and left the alliance once the APT was secured. But Victoria wasn't all bad. She left a map for Wolfram and Nathan, directing them to Zarem's Hope. Once there, Wolfram was reunited with her. Pretty impressed older brother. He never was any good at expressing himself. What is Ragnar's true purpose? What will happen to Wolfram? You've already played the story. Why are you asking me? There's still more to go. Get back in there. You need how many retakes?
Lord Tsukumo, you wish to see me?
Ah, Kohaku, come in. I have news to share.
Has Zippang made its decision?
Yes, up until now, Zippang has had a national policy of isolation, and our people lived under and supported that policy as one.
It is as you say.
But our recent conflict has caused me to question that policy. During the confusion surrounding the World War, Zippang decided to close our borders and preserve our own peace. I have this nagging thought. Is removing ourselves from the world really the best course to chart for the future? We closed ourselves off to avoid the destruction happening to the world around us, but was it really what was best? Perhaps the war would not have spread so broadly if we had instead reached out to work with those who would advocate for peace. All these years later, I question our judgment.
Lord Tsukumo.
Zippang has never seen times as dire as what we face now. We will need to keep attempting to warn the people that if nothing changes, Zippang will perish. That is why I advocated for doing away with our isolation policy, to preserve the spirit of Zippang into the future. Kohaku, I have an urgent duty for you. I have taken charge of gathering information on the outside world, and I will be leaving in 1 week. Will you do this favor for the sake of Zippang? You are the only one who I can trust with the task. Will you accept?
It would be my honor.
You take but a small step, though in the end it may make all the difference for Zippang.
I like that carrot patch on your jumpsuit. It's pretty cute.
Oh, this old thing? My grandfather gave it to me when I was a kid. He said it was because of how much I loved the carrot soup my mom used to make.
Wow, you've had it for a while.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I look at it, I get reminded of my mom. I haven't seen her in a very long time, but the patch lets me feel connected to her still. I hope she's doing all right. I wish I could see her again.
With a little help from Lady Luck, you just might get the chance. My own brother turned up alive after all. Don't give up hope.
Okay. Hey, Wolfram, what's your relationship like with Nathan?
I beg your pardon?
I'm just curious.
Nathan, he's... a good comrade?
Oh, really?
Just what are you driving at? Stop messing with me. I hate it when people aren't direct about what they're trying to say.
I was just wondering, do you like Nathan? It seemed like you might, but maybe I was wrong.
Nora, don't just up and say such silly things. I don't think of him like that. Why are you asking all of a sudden?
Oh, I'm just trying to be more direct.
I've never thought of him like that.
Is that so?
What? I really haven't. Stop making fun of me.
I'm not. I just want to know.
Ugh, I knew you were trying to be difficult from the start. I'm going on ahead. I have things to do.
Wow. Why did Wolfram's face turn so red? She wasn't very convincing. Maybe I'll go ask Nathan next. And tuning is done. Hydraulic pressure steady, energy levels normal.
It looks great, Nora. How long have you been piloting mechas for, anyway?
I think I was about 8 years old when I started combat and piloting training.
What? That's amazing. Even for a trained soldier, it takes a while to learn to just move the suit, much less fight.
Actually, I'd wanted to try a while before that. But my grandpa would only let me help maintain the mechas.
So you tried when he wasn't looking?
You guessed it. I snuck into one of the mechas while the soldiers were getting ready to spar by faking login credentials. I'd already gotten really good at fixing them, so piloting was an easy step to take. It was set up as a one-on-one duel. They gave the signal for the fight to start, and the pilot I was paired with moved to attack, but it was all too easy. I was piloting mostly on instinct. I didn't feel any pressure or tension at all. Then it was over. My opponent's mecha was down at my feet. I'll never forget all the cheering from the crowd as I exited the cockpit. Everyone was so surprised and impressed. But then my grandpa called me over. I tried to prepare myself for it, but it was no use. He gave me a very thorough scolding. How could you be so reckless? Never do that again.
Sounds tough.
I thought I was just a natural talent, but thinking back now... Grandpa? Did you know all along?
Lord Tsukumo, are you well? You seem distracted.
Yes, it is nothing.
It has been 2 weeks since that last incident.
That such serious dangers should strike us so close together. The only thing that prevented Artemisia and Zipbang from falling to ruin was your quick response, Kohaku. I thank you.
Please stop, my lord. We succeeded due to your effective leadership.
You are too humble. An excellent example of a soldier of Zipbang.
No, you are too kind.
But my heart aches every time I am forced to send you out on the battlefield.
Lord Tsukumo.
Look at your hands. They're covered in bruises. You've been through so much for someone your age.
Serving you, Lord Tsukumo, is the only happiness I need.
I sincerely apologize for what I have put you through. Though we must finish this war, I am ashamed that I cannot even protect my own bride-to-be.
My lord.
I want you to be by my side forever, Kohaku.
Lord Tsukumo.